Okay, this is going to be a video talking about our backpacks, how we use them, and the basic techniques that you would use in using our backpacks. So first of all, this is our Birchmeier backpack. This particular one is called a BCS model. It has a jug that's removable. There's a hose that comes off from this with a quick connect end on it, and that is so that we can change guns. We're going to have this low volume gun that I'm going to demonstrate here in a few minutes, and then we also have some other types of guns that are all for different activities. The biggest thing I'd like to say about this, the use of it is pretty self-explanatory, but these things are fairly delicate. These parts here break pretty easily. We seem to have a epidemic problem with these things just getting thrown into toolboxes, breaking this, breaking the cap, unscrewing the handle, moving the handle to some other place other than where the backpack is, losing parts, taking the guns off, dropping these guns and busting the tips off from them, so on and so forth. So please use a little care in how you utilize these. These backpacks all put together with all the accessories and hoses and extra guns run in about the $600 to $700 a piece range. So it'd be good if we could kind of keep them in decent working order. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to demonstrate 3 different techniques of using this backpack. Once you've got it on your back here, you've got the handle on the side. You can use the handle to pump it up to create pressure. And then here on our gun, this is the low volume gun. So this gun is used for foliar applications, meaning we're going to spray herbicides directly on the leaf of the plant. Let's step back here a little bit. We'll call this, come over this way. We'll call this here just a tree that's growing on its own that we want to spray. Ignore that this is coming out of a bigger stem. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you, how this backpack would work to spray a bush like this. We have 2 different nozzles on it. One nozzle gives us a nice fan pattern for working up close. The other nozzle gives us distance so that we can reach things that are higher or further away from us. So right now I'm set on the fan pattern. So if I was going to spray this plant, I can just pull my trigger and I can very quickly apply a herbicide to the leaves of that plant. Now if I want to really make sure I'm going to do a good job, I'd want to move to the other side and make an application to both sides of the leaves so that you're completely encompassing the plant. If we were doing a tall bush, you might want to do it on 3 sides. You might want to sweep up it, walk part of the way around, sweep up it again, walk part of the way around, sweep up it again. Let's come around to the front here. Okay, that's how you use this this one side. The other part of this is this straight tip nozzle, and when I flip this valve over, I now have got a straight stream. You can see that this is adjustable, and I can make it reach all the way out and hit that truck. Okay, now I'm losing some of my pressure, so I pump it back up. If I screw this down, I can make it more of a fan pattern that just blows away in the wind. So this is adjustable for me. Now in this case, I've got a taller bush, or in this case, I've got a tall tree. If I'm going to treat that, I can run this out to just a small broken pattern, and you can see that I can reach all the way up to the top of this tree, and I can soak all the leaves down. The same system applies here. We want to walk to at least 3 different sides of this tree and be able to cover all the leaves in their entirety if at all possible. So I would want to move over here, do the same thing over here by spraying all the way up. All right. So that's the foliar gun. That's how it works. That's what it does. This is not for putting down basil bark or doing any other kind of spraying. We're not gonna spray cracks in concrete with it or any of that kind of stuff. Now, if I'm going to change the gun to a different kind of gun, I've got to get rid of the pressure that's inside of this. So I'm going to come over and just discharge my pressure. Or actually, if you could reach behind me and unhook the piece that goes into the tank. Do you see the... No, there's just a quick attach. You can pull the hose right off the top. It's got like a little button you push and that little hose pops off. You got her? Mm-hmm. It's off?
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm just blowing off the pressure. All I have in this gun, or all I have in this backpack is water. So So that's just blowing off whatever was in reserve in this backpack. When I disconnect this quick attach, it's going to squirt out whatever was left. I'll demonstrate. Okay? So you don't want to do that when you have herbicide in here. You want to leave the gun on and make sure you bleed off all the pressure before you change guns. All right, let's hook that back up. Okay, now I've changed guns to another one. I'm going to pump my backpack back up. This wand here is my basil bark wand. So basil bark is a little bit different, well, a lot different than foliar, in that the herbicide is an oil-based herbicide, sometimes with a dye that's inside of it. And the purpose of it is, instead of being absorbed by the leaf, it's going to be absorbed by the bark of the tree. So a tree like this, we would want to, let's imagine this is the ground level right here, okay? Basil bark, what we want to do is we want to spray from the ground up about 18 inches all the way around the tree, just the base of the tree, just the trunk, not the leaves, not up high. We want to completely encircle the base of the tree from the ground up 1.5 foot, up 18 inches. All right, and I can adjust this wand. Now this wand has a cable inside of it, and it turns on way down here at the bottom. So the advantage of that is I don't get any drip. When I let up on it, the valve is actually down here, so it doesn't run everything out of the wand and drip everywhere I'm walking. It gives me a nice even control. So let's come over to this other tree. It'll be a little easier to demonstrate. So if I were to treat the base of this tree, and again, we're imagining this is ground level right here. If I was going to treat the base of this tree, I would just go all the way around it with this wand, okay? And I would completely soak 1.5 foot of the base of the tree right to the ground. And once I'd done that, that's it. That tree is now treated. That basil bark herbicide will absorb in through the bark into the inner layer of the tree, and it will be taken into the roots and distributed up through the tree, and that tree will, in a fairly short period of time, die. Okay? That's a basil treatment. Totally different than a foliar treatment. This is a low volume basil wand. This is a low volume foliar gun. Okay? A couple $100, $150, $300 and some for the pack. You can see very quickly we're $700-800 in all of the tools that are here. Okay? The last technique I'm going to show you while I'm here is what's called a hack and squirt application. And with a hack and squirt, you don't even use a backpack. We've had instances where people get confused between hack and squirt and basil bark, and the two systems are totally different. The two methods are totally different. So with a hack and squirt method, what we are looking to do is we have a machete like this, or you can even use a hatchet or an axe or something. And what we're going to do is we're going to make frill marks here in the tree, and that frill mark is basically just a cup that opens up and gives us access into the inner bark of the tree. So if I take this and I put just a smack in the side of it, I lost my microphone here. I'll just hang it over the back of my head. Come on up here and look at this. So you can see that mark that I put right there has created kind of a cup in the side of the tree. All right. Again, I'm using just water. It would be a special herbicide that we use. Each one of these herbicides for these three methods are totally different. A foliar application is going to be a herbicide mixed with a fair amount of water. A basil application is a very strong herbicide mixed in an oil base. And this is going to be a very concentrated herbicide because we're putting very, very little herbicide on the tree. So that was my frill mark. And I need to do this all the way around the tree. I can't do it just in one spot. It does not need to be at the same point, but it should cover most of the circumference of the tree. Now, once I've done that, I can just put a little squirt of herbicide in each one of those frills, and now I can walk away, and if I come back in a few months, this tree is probably going to be dead. All the leaves will fall off from it, and it'll stand here and dry out until it eventually falls over. Okay? Same thing over here, a hack and squirt method here. You know, I can come in here, I just need to break through the bark. I don't need to chop the tree down. Okay? And with that little bit right there, that's going to kill this tree. And this will work on trees up to about, 4, maybe even 6 inches in diameter. You can treat this way, or with the basil bark treatment as well. So those are the 3 basic techniques we're going to use in utilizing our backpacks or Hack and Squirt.